Today on episode 28 of the Home of Play podcast, we finally get PlayStation news. Let's start the show.
Let's hear that intro. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to episode 28 of the Home of Play podcast, where every Monday the two best friends join forces to give you all the latest in PlayStation rumors, news, reviews, and that's because we're the true PlayStation fans. I'm your host, Steve, and with me I'm joined by the king of platinum trophies himself, Christopher.
Hello.
If you enjoy this and would like to support the podcast, then head over to our YouTube page where you can find our latest episode by searching the Home of Play podcast. Please consider subscribing, maybe even dropping us a like if the spirit moves you, winky wink. If you are already listening to this on YouTube channel, then please feel free to listen on any podcast service of your choice, such as Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. If you could possibly give us 5-star review on those services, as well as make others aware of our content through the power of word of mouth, it would be extremely appreciated. Every month we are growing. It's all because of you lovely gamers helping to spread the cause. If you have any burning questions, comments, or complaints, we want to hear from you. Please leave any of those on our YouTube videos, and then we can read those at our leisure, or, not, because we're busy pre-ordering our PS5s. Woo! On today's episode, we have no numbers because, honestly, we're just going crazy with it. It's all PS5 news. So it's not going to be your typical episode. We're just excited. So much PlayStation news. But before all that, let's get a little into what our lives are. But, again, there's going to be a lot of PlayStation, boys. So strap in. So what have you been doing, Chris, this week?
Nothing. Start the show. No, nothing really. What did I do? I finished Far Cry 3. Got the platinum on that. It was super easy. And then I started Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 20th anniversary edition, the free one that we got last month.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a lot of collectibles and stuff to do, but the gameplay seems pretty fun. But I haven't played it very much, so that's about it for me. How about you?
Yeah, that's a good point. What have I been up to? I just
Oh, here, I got something. I secretly saw Steve playing some Marvel's Avengers last night, and shame.
Last night? I wasn't playing last night.
Oh, it said on my phone that you were playing last night.
Oh, it's left up in the background. Okay.
That's playing.
I did play on Tuesday. That's what the last day I played.
Okay.
So, okay, so you're right. I played more Avengers. I'm trying to see what the end game, not that I'm near end game, but post campaign,
trying to see what the loop is.
Yeah, so okay, here's another problem with the game. It actually has something to enjoy here. The problem is there's no structure to let you know what's going on. So I found a guy, listened to his videos, and he describes what you want to do and the best track. And sure as shoot, as soon as I understand what he's saying, I start building Thor the way he's telling me to build. Suddenly there's something that, you can kind of see a glimpse of there could be something here. Now what he's told me and the process and in the order I want to do it, I can see something. I'm still it's too broken. Matchmaking's broken, crashes, bugs, blah, blah, blah. My disinterest in the loot, like we talked about before, the fact that they lock cosmetics away from your loot that you're getting because they want you to buy. And that's another thing I got to stress. I did get some complaints where people are like, oh, you don't like when loot is attached to, what am I trying to say here? It's pay to win stuff. But now you don't like when it's cosmetic either. I'm like, no, I don't have a problem with buying cosmetics like Fortnite. Mm-hmm. It doesn't affect the game. My problem is that this is supposed to be a looter shooter like Destiny or Anthem or Division, and so they give you loot. But unlike any of those games, it doesn't actually change cosmetics because they want you to buy the cosmetics. So I'm like, so you're kind of making loot useless. I guess.
In Destiny, you could have 30 different pairs of pants.
Yeah.
But they all look like 30 different pairs of pants.
It made me want to get it. I remember, I can't remember the class anymore. It's been so long. Is it Titan? Was that one of the Okay. Yep. So I think it was a Titan class, and then I got the chest piece, and I'm like, oh, it has the fur on the back. This is the one I want. So I kept it forever. I kept overlaying it on any new piece of loot because I love that look. I want to have that with this game, but they're like, no, we want you to buy costumes. So I'm just, that's my attachment. It's not that I care that you have to pay for costumes. I'm fine with that on the after fact. I just would have wished they would have added a little cosmetics to the loot, because otherwise I'm just like, what's the purpose of this? And especially at the start of the game, there's no, like, you don't even have to look at it. Just hold L2, have it autofill. It's kind of useless till the real
Whatever's
end of the
higher
game.
numbers.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's really useless. So anyway, tried it a little more. There is something there. It's just not enough to save it at this point.
Did they ever say if they're doing like a next gen upgrade for this game?
Yes, I did hear it will be free.
It's gonna be free too.
Yeah,
nice.
So hopefully that will help some of the issues that game has. I doubt it. Like, again, I think a lot of it's just the development of it, the time crunch, all that fun jazz. But
no, I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, I'm fine with Apex where the cosmetics. I think you can earn some cosmetics in those types of games like Overwatch just by playing and getting those loot boxes that have a slight chance of maybe getting that stuff. But that's kind of the purpose of those games, right? That's the depth of the game, is to be really competitive and potentially earn cool things to be flashy in front of other people. This game has multiplayer, but it's primarily like a single player game. Like you don't have to play with people. It has a story, right? So you should be able to earn that stuff.
And if I can, I looked into this a little further. It costs, for they tier your costumes, cosmetic costumes. So let's say a legendary costume is about 1,400 credits. That's roughly $14.
Right. That's the standard for most of those games. Yeah.
Really? Okay. Then I guess I'm just out of the loop. That just seems redonk. Like,
yeah, no, it's super expensive nowadays.
I think I showed my wife and I was like, oh yeah, if I spend $40, I could have like 4 costumes. Not even. I'm like, that seems ridiculous to me. That just seems really gougy. Like, it's a costume, like, and it's it's not it's like, I'd expect to buy a real Halloween costume for this much. But this is a non-existent costume. Like, it just seems a little expensive in my opinion. I would almost be happier to do like battle pass if I like the game enough. Like, obviously at the point it's at, I wouldn't. And then even then I heard people are saying there's battle passes per character, which is crazy again, but whatever, more power to them.
Yeah, there's different types of microtransactions and they get used in a variety of ways. So there's some that are okay, some are not okay. It's our opinions.
Yeah, exactly. And none of that matters to you, and you just want to be, I don't know, Spider-Man. Whenever he comes out, then go to town. That's another
example of the Spider-Man game. There's like how many costumes in that game that you earn for free?
Yeah, and I didn't have to pay for them.
Yeah, so great. And then they still keep adding costumes randomly. Like they added the latest movie.
Even now, we'll talk about this more later. But in the one that they're redoing, I don't want to say redoing, but it's
remastered.
Let's say the upgraded version for PS5. Guess what? If you get the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales, you get that for free. On top of all the upgrades that you get in the original version, there's 3 new costumes. Yay! And again, those 3 costumes are going to cost me $69. That was about all I did. Everything's coming up great, and I just had no more time because this week's been ridiculous with so much stuff to do in terms of the podcast itself. So much news. Stuff to go through, so many updates so fast. So I didn't really have a lot of time after all that stuff. So
shall we get into the news?
I think we should get into the news.
Then let's start the news. Article 1, which isn't really an article, but the PS5 event happened and it was a banger.
For obvious reasons, this is number 1. It was, before we get into bit by bit, I don't know, do you want to give your impressions? Like,
I go ahead. You go first.
I'm just so excited. Maybe I shouldn't have asked you because I was right away ready to
awful.
go.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no. Like, this is exactly what I wanted from the first show. I think we got a lot of comments that I was negative about that first event that happened a few months back, and this is exactly what I wanted. And this is why I was negative of the first event they did. I wasn't impressed by like these weird indie games. Stray. Ooh. And I'm not even trying to crap on the game. It's just
even at the beginning of this show, they showed a quick little clip of everything on the last show.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and it's just, and then it had no info. Yes, it did show us what it looked like. I'm like, ooh, thing in a taco shell. So like great, but this is what I wanted. Like, this is, there's some issues and we can touch on those later, but this is a close to perfect from what I wanted on a PS5 reveal event that I could have asked for. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. I really enjoyed the show. This is one of the better shows that we've seen over the last couple months from any publisher or company.
I might even compare it to like, it's honestly ranking as high as like the 2018 E3.
Yeah. And I agree. There are issues. There's a lot of stuff they didn't show, which we'll talk about later. But it's, I mean, I think it was 45 minutes. I got tons of value out of that 45 minutes and lots of upcoming secret things that are going to be happening, which are going to be cool.
The first 5 minutes, like, good God, man.
Oh, yeah. The first 5 minutes were incredible, which we'll get into right away.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll just start with it. The event happened right away. We were treated to our first reveal for Final Fantasy 16. Right away, console exclusive. Like, woo-hoo. Holy crap. Like, it seems like Square's coming home.
They're coming home.
Just because, what is it? Project Athia.
Yep.
Same thing. Console that one's like super exclusive. It sounds like it's being made from the ground up. PS5 only, no PC, all that stuff. This one, it sounds like this one's got weird messaging. It did say PC, and then for some reason the trailer got taken down later.
They've gone back and forth on a couple games like this.
I do expect it will, just like 15, with some time, it will go back to PC, but it does sound like they're sticking with the console exclusivity.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were your thoughts on this trailer? What did you think?
So my first impression was, oh my god, yay, this is a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Final Fantasy for the most part. It looked really good. My first, when I was first watching it, I'm like, oh, is this another expansion to Final Fantasy 14? Because it does have similarities to it for sure, but it's like, it definitely looked better environment-wise, and the combat looked pretty cool too. So going from that point, it starts getting further into the trailer. Some of the cinematics, the character models, which I think you'll probably talk on a little bit more, didn't look as great. Like when they were walking around in the fields, it looked really good. But when you're actually like interacting with the other like NPCs talking and stuff, was kind of a little iffy. And then there was more information revealed about the game afterwards as to who the director is, which I'll let you go into more. But overall, I'm excited for it. Want to see a console exclusive. Yay. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
I'm like you. I was right away. I was excited. I saw a console exclusive. I'm like, oh, great. Like, I can't wait. Like, I've been wanting another one since 15. I enjoyed 15. Did have its issues. Absolutely. But it was still a solid addition to the franchise. This one, yeah, like you said, I started watching. I'm like, yes, like another one, like another, I don't know, numbered Final Fantasy, not a side note or another online expansion. But then, yeah, as soon as I saw the characters, and like, I'm ready to die on this hill. It looks like they stole assets from 14. Like, as someone who's put a decent amount of hours into Final Fantasy 14, Realm Reborn, some of the expansions. I don't think I played the newest one, but I've played most of the expansions.
You put your time into it.
I've definitely put my time into it, and I'm like, these character faces, the models, even the hair, like, it looked like a lot of these characters were made in Final Fantasy 14 and then brought into this game. And that's a little concerning when you realize that A Realm Reborn was released, I believe, 7 years ago.
Sounds right.
I could be wrong. Let's say 5 to 7.
How long did it take for 15 to come out? So it's probably 7 years.
Yeah, and I'm like, and that's the thing. These character models look worse than 15. So I'm a little worried about that. And then I wasn't surprised to hear after the fact that this game is being directed by the Final Fantasy 14 main headrunner, Yoshi P. I think everyone always calls him for short.
Which is a good thing, because he definitely revitalized the game.
Yes, I should specify that he didn't work on the initial Final Fantasy 14. He worked on A Realm Reborn. So like I am glad to hear that for game reasons. I'm just a little like, I wonder if they didn't have a lot of time. Like, did Square push for like, okay, we need another Final Fantasy tomorrow. Here's $50. And now he's trying to piece together something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like, again, I'm still going to play this. The summons look new. Like, that's great. The enemies look up-res. The environments don't look too bad. It's just the character models where I'm like, there's something here. Like, I don't know why you had to reuse that stuff, but fine, whatever. Like, let's just get to it. And I guess I'll make a better case when I get to actually put my hands on it.
The other iffy thing too was all the gameplay footage we saw was just the one character. They didn't look like a full team running around with you. It could have been in the background, you just couldn't see them, or maybe it was parts in the game where you didn't have a team.
Yeah.
But it only really showed a single character.
Which would be interesting for a Final Fantasy installment.
Yeah, that isn't an MMO.
Yeah, that is very odd. But again, I'm willing to give it time to breathe. Like maybe the next time we see it, it looks a little bit better. It just doesn't. Nothing about it screamed PS5 to me.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the cool part was I believe it did say 2021.
Yep.
So it doesn't sound like we have to wait long. Holy moly! Like I'm going to say this a million times, but 2021, that is going to be a year. Good Lord in heaven. So anyway, we're going to move from that on to the next guy. Spider-Man Miles Morales was shown again. This time we got a more extensive look of like a gameplay demo. Kind of neat, starts off, he's walking the streets of New York, or I guess more his area.
Harlem.
Yeah. So that looked cool. Then you go to a little Christmas festival, yay. And then, shit goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Spider-Man in action. Definitely looks like they changed up a few things like it. And I'm not going to say this for sure because it's just a demo, but it seems more like Miles Morales is using his extra Spider-Man powers because he can go invisible, I believe, in the comic books, and he has some weird electrical power.
So I don't know the comic book stuff about Miles that much.
I know a little.
He has the powers,
Yes.
or the suit?
No, it's him.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, if they ever explain it. Again, I didn't have the comics. I just know a little bit about him. And yeah, he has like, I guess, did you ever watch Enter the Spider-Verse?
Yep.
Okay, so he had those powers in that show too. This is that. It just seems like they really turned the dial to 10 on those electrical powers.
Yeah.
Because he was doing like ridiculous stuff with it that I haven't ever seen in the comics or shows. So that was a little indifferent. But then I'm wondering if it's because they're not going to give him the gadgets that the other Spider-Man had. If that's how they're going to try to separate them and feeling different entities that you play.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it looked amazing. I can't wait to actually see this at home with ray tracing, all that stuff. I'm not going to be the guy playing the performance mode. Screw 60 frames per second. Give me the ray tracing. Give me HDR. I want to see New York look amazing.
Yeah, it looked really, really good. The best part about the original one and this one is it looks like I love when it goes so seamless from like you fighting into like a cinematic scene where it's like you don't even realize you're not playing anymore.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you are playing. And it looks like this game's going to have a lot of that, which I really enjoyed from the first one. So this will be, it's going to be fun. I mean, my major concern about it is its length. It might be short. It sounds like it could be shorter than the other one, which is saying something. But it looks like it's just going to be fun overall. So
yeah, I get my only gripe. I mean, I'm going to go and add in here is the villain seems very like C grade. Like they're like, oh, a female tinkerer. And I'm like, okay, but like it almost feels like, did you play the DLC for the Marvel Spider-Man?
not yet, no.
Okay, so like I think it was Hammerhead was the villain, and this feels like that. I'm like, this is a DLC villain.
It's another corporation type of villain.
It's like, oh, the red guys versus the purple guys, and I'm like, oh, okay, like fine. Again, like this isn't Spider-Man 2, so I'm not like too distraught about this, but that would be my only concern. But I'm still think I'm gonna have fun. On top of that, they also revealed that you can get this game, I believe, for $59.99 on PS4 or PS5, but you can also spend a little bit more for the $69.99 version, and that is going to get you what they call the Ultimate version, and then you get a completely upgraded version of 2020 Spider-Man, and they're saying they're adding everything you see Miles Morales. It sounds like they're adding back into the original guy, so you're going to get ray tracing that one. More cars, more people on the streets, all those good upgrades. It sounds like they're really trying to stress that it's not a basic re-res. It is a lot more. So me, myself, I think I might actually get it. Like, I already own this game, but like it sounds like they upgraded so much that I would love to see it with ray tracing and all that good jazz. So then, holy moly, we got Harry freaking Potter. I cannot believe it. It's going to be called Hogwarts Legacy. From Portkey. This one's actually from the Avalanche team from WB Entertainment. Holy moly. I cannot, I didn't ever think I'd see this at the PS5. I knew they were holding off, but I just assumed it was a separation of like their DC stuff for the DC fandom event. So then I'm like, oh, okay, whenever this comes out. But no, they chose the PS5 event. I couldn't be happier. It's apparently late 1800s in the Wizarding universe. Yeah, you get to pick or create your own student. I think I heard word that you're like a 5th-year student returning, but somehow you get to pick your house. So maybe like you brought up, it's a flashback. You get to pick your house. I'm going Ravenclaw. What are you going?
Couldn't tell you. Probably Gryffindor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Ravenclaw. No one's going to be Hufflepuff. I just want to see those numbers come out. No one's Hufflepuff. But yeah, it just looks amazing. I cannot wait to I really hope they lean into what classes are you picking and this and that. And
it really reminds me too of the old was it PS1, PS2 Harry Potter games. Those were fun. You're going through the movies, go into classes, learning the spells. You have to get to level 3 of all your, I think, owls or whatever they were or something. I can't remember what it was, but they were pretty fun back in the day, and they were kind of they're for those types of games that are based on movies back then. Those weren't anything too special. So if they can really revitalize this,
and that's the thing. If you remember the leak, that was 2 years ago. So it seems like they've been working on this game for a while, and it shows. I thought the characters look, they look a little. I don't want to say cartoony, they weren't cell shaded, but they're a little different. But holy moly, the environments look good. That stone wall moving looked amazing. I'm really excited for this game. Honestly, I'm just a Harry Potter fan, so for me, this ranks pretty top spot for most anticipated for next year. Okay, I'll let you take the next one.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. After Harry Potter, we got a Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War video. So it starts off with a really brief cinematic, and then it goes into gameplay where he's walking around on a hill or kind of killing some enemies. They start looking for their target. They see the target. They shoot with a kind of what's that, sniper elite, where the camera follows the bullet, which I don't know if this is that every time or is it just in that moment. I'm not too sure. But yeah, then it kind of goes into all hell break loose because he misses the shot, because if you actually watch the video, it looks like he's trying to quick snipe the guy, which is funny. And then it kind of goes into a whole gameplay and cinematic where it looks like there's some more close quarters stuff. He kind of knifing the guy, grabbing him, using it as a human shield.
I gotta
sticks
say,
a grenade to him, kicks him, blows up.
I was gonna say that it seems like they're really dramatizing this. Not only does he stab this guy in the brain, which you've won, you've already won. You stab him in the brain, but then he shoots him in the head.
Yeah,
I'm okay, now you're just wasting bullets. Good Lord,
ammunition, man. And then it kind of goes into a whole cinematic, but it looks like you're still in control, where you're on the back of a vehicle shooting out other vehicles. Then you control the RC vehicle and you take out the plane, and then vehicle shoots over it. I can't tell how much of it's cinematic or if you're actually still in control in certain parts of it. And then kind of the plane's about to fall on you, and then it goes into a cinematic thing. It looks fine. I mean, it's Call of Duty. They don't evolve that much between generations of games. So, and then the only other kind of surprise was that the multiplayer is actually going to be available this weekend, last weekend for people who actually hear this podcast. But it'll be on the Friday to the Sunday, which I'm probably going to try.
Okay.
Why not? I'm not playing anything else now.
It's free and you're a part of something.
Yeah, so I'll probably give it a try, see how it works out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Did you have any other impressions?
I'm not the Call of Duty guy anymore, but it looked like, if this was a movie, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it.
Woods was in it too, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have any connection to the previous characters, so it looked interesting. Definitely a little more brutal, a little more Fast and Furious feeling. I just thought it was cool that they're giving PS4 owners free alpha to try this weekend, just to get your beaks wet, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Test out those servers.
I'll also let you take this next one.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's more you.
The next one after that they showed was Resident Evil 8 Village. They didn't show. There wasn't any gameplay. I don't think. It didn't look like it.
No,
but
not
everything
really.
they showed sort of felt like it was clips of stuff we might have already seen. Some of it
It
was
just
new.
seemed like
it was
an
definitely
extended trailer.
Yeah, there was a part where they're it looked like what's that animated, that Caroline thing? It reminded me of a short
Coraline.
Coraline, yeah. And it was kind of cartoony with the mom and the daughter, and
I was gonna say that, and when Harry Potter did the
when they're talking about the three brothers.
Yes.
But it reminded me of the Harry Potter, that anime thing where they're crossing the bridge and getting all the three Deathly Hallows.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So They show that, and then you can hear more cult chanting type thing, like maybe a sisterhood of witches type thing. There's a lot of occult stuff, more supernatural stuff.
Everyone keeps saying werewolves, but these guys just look like half dumb, like cavemen.
Men.
I'm gonna say cavemen. They just like disfigured men who are slightly hairy. I'm like,
I don't know if Capcom's actually confirmed anything like specific about the game. It might be just people what their impressions are of it, but didn't show too much. A little bit of Chris. A little bit of Ethan. I mean, it's Resident Evil. I'm going to play it because I'm a big fan of the whole series, even though the series has definitely changed a lot between almost every second game. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Did you have anything?
My only interest is like, I think maybe they're not talking about it because the message is PS5, but like, is this one going to be VR compatible again? Because that was I didn't play it, but just watching you do it, I was like, this is one of the best VR games was Resident Evil 7. So I'm really hoping they carry forward because VR could use the help.
Definitely. And then after Resident Evil 8, we got a little bit more of Deathloop, which I'm still on the fence about. Like, they're going for that, what is it, kind of like 80s type of theme?
I keep hearing people
80s,
say
70s?
Grindhouse. Like,
it looks very Grindhouse like. They show more gameplay, but it's more of the same. I don't know.
Well, this one was unique in the way that they're trying to show you that you can affect the timeline. Like, oh, this guy's not going to the party, but if you go early in the morning and ruin his experiment, he'll have no reason to stay, so he'll go to the party, and now you can kill 2 at the same location.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just not in my head. I'm not picturing. Is the game going to end with you killing all 8 at the same event at some point?
I don't know if it's that. I think it's more supposed to do with this weird time limit, but is there actually a time limit all the time? Because like that seems a little stressful to me. Like, I don't know if I would enjoy that, but I couldn't see that. Like, you think it's still level based.
It's Bethesda. It looks fine. The abilities remind me a lot of Dishonored.
Honestly, the teleport is straight up copy and paste from Dishonored.
I think even one of the kill animations they showed actually 2 or 3 times, which was like, come on, variety. Like the whole grabbing him, kicking him in the side, and snapping the neck type thing. I'm like, I don't know. I still don't know what to say about this game. I'm kind of just on the fence. We got a launch window for second quarter 2021. I need to see more about this. I'm very much on the fence. It's probably going to be a pass for me.
I think it's going to be a pass for me as well. It sucks because I like Dishonored, but one of the biggest things about Dishonored is I like the aesthetics, where this one, I'm not interested whatsoever. There's nothing about this that draws me into like, I'm just this guy who's kind of seems like an a-hole. Not that they've spent too much time with him. And then like, I don't understand. I'm the only one in the world that doesn't seem to understand the girl hunting you all the time. I'm like, wait, is she a playable character or is she hunting you all the time? Like I'm saying, I don't understand. Like, and I don't think maybe it's just me because I'm not really into it so far, but like maybe I'm not paying attention. But yeah, I really don't understand her purpose and all this. Okay, so it's not just me.
It's not just you. No, I don't know.
But either way,
it's obvious she's hunting you, but I don't understand why or how it fits in the story, or if it's another player playing as her. I don't know.
But either way, I'm so far. It's a pass. Then we're moving on to a weird one, but Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I never played Devil May Cry 5 at all. And it's not really my thing. I'm okay with it. It looks cool. This one just sounds like they're taking the same game and offering you 120 frames per second, which sounds pretty neat. If you like that, it sounds like they're adding more enemies in the same screen because the PS5 can handle that. You know, do you want to play as Virgil? Because now you can. And they're even offering another difficulty setting. So that's kind of neat. And then I guess the big reveal at the end is like it's available digitally right at launch. So another thing that you can tack on.
I never played this one myself. This one feels weird to me. Like it looks like they're adding stuff to the game, which is nice. But then it feels like how much are they going to be? Are they going to be charging full price for this? Because it feels like this would be like a really good addition to the future topic we're going to talk about with the PlayStation Plus Collector's Edition or the Collection Edition. It's like, why would this not be included in that instead of making people pay for it again?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. I'm not getting it.
I didn't see a price for it. I would find it interesting if they tried doing full price. Like, don't get me wrong, you are adding content. Like, just in the fact that you play as Virgil, I assume that means new levels. And even if you're reusing levels, you're having more enemies. He's got a whole set of new moves. Again, I don't know much about what I'm even talking about, but I would find it interesting. Like I have a hard time believing they're going to come out and be like, yeah, $70 for this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a $50. Hopefully it's a $50. But it's just another option at launch. So I guess that's a cool point.
It builds up the library a little bit more.
Yeah. And then moving on to the next one that I doubt either of us cares about.
Well, I mean, I like the originals, but I'm not like following this one as much. But we got Oddworld, Soulstorm. It was pretty funny, the cinematic with like the enemies and stuff talking, and then there's a little bit a brief moment at the end where you're like, wait here, and all your guys are like, oh, I'm waiting, and then, oh, I'm waiting here, I'm hungry. I'm like, it's kind of funny, and the gameplay looks really good. It looks like it'll probably run really nice on the PlayStation 5. But I don't have too much to say about this one. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's console exclusive, I believe up to 3 months. I know it's coming out for PC. I possibly day and date. I didn't really see there, but yeah, I think the console exclusivity is just a timed one.
Probably.
So yeah, and I have no interest in Oddworld, anything. I don't find that type of humor entertaining for myself. But again, I'm not dissing it. If you enjoy this, more power to you, like I always say. But we're just going to move on to the next one. Do you want to take this one as well?
No.
Okay. So scary trailer. Five Nights at Freddy's. This one's a new game, I think, in the series called Security Breach. I believe this might be the first time it's coming to console. And again, console exclusivity. I don't know if it's timed or not. I did see 3 months after release date on there, so it might be coming to Xbox Series X as well. And yeah, just a creepy trailer of a girl saying like she didn't mean to hurt you,
and then the voice goes all dark to like a man's deep voice.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
so
she knows where you are.
I actually might check it out. I've always heard about Five Nights at Freddy's, but because it's a PC game and I'm not the biggest PC gamer, I've just never checked one out.
This game would probably wreck you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I know you with scary games.
Yeah.
And with the, like, I don't know about this one specifically, but you would probably lose your shit. You would lose your shit during these ones.
Well, then I might make you play it and I watch for safety underpants reasons.
We'll move on to the next one. I'll let you do this one because this one's definitely one you're super stoked for.
Yeah, I Demon Souls, nothing really talked about here. Just a longer trailer. My God, I don't know. I could be wrong, but this looked like the best game graphically.
It looked really good.
It looks amazing. Like the environments are amazing. The armor's great. The enemies are great. Yeah,
the animations looked really good.
Blue Point, like holy moly, you guys really put it out there. So yeah, and then this is, and we'll probably talk about this more at the end of the episode, but like there is definitely some issues with communication. The trailer just ended, and it was a good trailer, but it just ended and it didn't say anything. Later, which this is a weird part, on Jeff Keighley's Twitter, then we were treated to the fact that this is a launch title, which I don't know if you do remember. I believe 2 episodes ago we talked about this, and we actually heard rumors that this might be a launch title because some rating board kind of, I think it was in Korea, kind of talked about how it was all getting rated, and usually it doesn't happen until a game's ready to go. So there was rumors that this would happen anyway. And another weird one where it did say PC, and then all of a sudden the trailer was removed. Any comment about the PC version was removed. So now everyone's confused. But anyway, it's console exclusive, PS5 exclusive, which yay. Which just looking at it kind of seems obvious. And if it comes out on PC later, who knows? I don't know if, just off like the top of my head, I can't think of too many Blue Point games that go to PC, so I could see it staying on PS5, but at the same time they could easily just get another company to port it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. That's another one that I probably will get launch date, so yay. And then I'll let you talk about this one because this is a big one as well.
Yeah, so this was kind of like the bigger announcement of the show. They're announcing a new benefit to PlayStation Plus owners. It's called the PlayStation Plus Collection. So what it's going to be is you're going to if you have PlayStation Plus and you have a PlayStation 5, you're going to get access to a shit ton of games that are really good, which is very good idea. It's not going to like compete 100% with Game Pass, because Game Pass has got a lot of variety.
I don't think it wants to, though.
No, but people are making that comparison. Like, okay, this is the competition against Game Pass. And that's not the right way to go about it. And I'm kind of, I know, feeding into that. But what we'll start with is you're going to have access to a lot of great games. I will read off the list pretty quick. I don't think we're going to go over every one of them,
just go.
We'll start
rapid fire.
Rapid fire. So we got God of War. We got Bloodborne. We got Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World. We got FF15. We got Fallout 4. We got Mortal Kombat 10, which I think is one of the good ones, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the story mode on that one.
We got Uncharted 4. We got Ratchet and Clank. We got Days Gone, Until Dawn, Detroit Become Human, Battlefield 1, Infamous Second Son, Arkham Knight, Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Persona 5, and Resident Evil 7. So that is a huge amount of value and the thing is with PlayStation Plus is I think we had a price bump, like, was it this year or last year, where it wasn't a huge price bump.
No.
It was like $5 or something.
Yeah.
And to add all this for PlayStation 5, I don't know. The only thing I wasn't clear on was, are these all going to be available like day one?
They weren't really clear with that. It makes it seem like, I think that's where they're going, because like we were talking about, I don't think this is for me and you. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've never played Days Gone, so like, okay, yay, I can go right into that, play it.
I want to play Last Guardian. That was one that's always been on my list that I haven't done.
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't try that.
Did Battlefield 1, did that have a storyline?
I think it did.
That's probably something I would try.
Yeah.
Not something I would want to pay for.
Honestly wouldn't mind going back to Detroit Become Human. I love those kind of games.
Monster Hunter. That's a big game.
I've put too many hours now and I can't go back.
Yeah.
But either way, what this is for, in my opinion, is okay. You had these games physically, but now you're buying a digital PS5. Well, look, now you can play them still. So it's a little option. Obviously, it's not going to help the rest of your library, but it's a little incentive. Or the bigger one that I'm seeing is, you had an Xbox, you've never been in the PlayStation ecosystem. Well, how's this for a welcome message, right? You come in here and you have the biggest games that you've heard all your friends talking about.
Yeah, how many PlayStation exclusives are on that list? There's
God of War, Bloodborne.
We got Uncharted, Ratchet and Clank, Days Gone, Until Dawn. Detroit came out on PC eventually.
Well, we'll say it's console exclusive.
But it's pretty well console exclusive, yeah.
Last of Us Remastered.
Infamous Second Son.
Yep. Last Guardian.
Was Last Guardian?
Yeah, Last Guardian was PS4.
So almost like 8 of them or something.
Yeah. Persona 5's console. Well, yeah, it's exclusive. So, a lot of these games are...
It's a huge incentive to people who don't have Xboxes to jump over and try this.
Yeah.
Especially when most of the Xbox games you can play on PC.
Yep.
If you can afford PC, that's good for you. But I think this is great value.
I'm actually interested that Horizon's not on here.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that one's not on there.
Because they put that on. Maybe it's because they're trying to keep the PC sales up. I don't know.
Well, then they also need games for regular PlayStation Plus, like the 2 a month.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what the very first month. Maybe the Horizon will be one of the ones or something for. I bet you that's what they're doing.
Or they're going to do what PS4 did when it first started. It just gives us a bunch of indies until they have something to a collection.
So yeah, that's a pretty good value. I think that's going to be a big incentive for people to get the new system.
Yeah, especially if you've never been in the ecosystem before. I don't see how that's not tempting.
And speaking of the new system, we are going to go into the next little part here. I'll let Steve start with it, but we now have prices and dates and times.
So yeah, they moved on to a little portion of the show we like to call the real announcement. They finally gave us prices for the digital edition and the I don't know what you want to call the full edition or whatever. Just we'll call it the PS5 and then the other
edition.
ones. Yeah. So anyway, it's $399 for the digital and $499 for the physical. And they look basically the same minus the disc drive. There's a little less taco on the digital. Hooray. And then we got the release date, which is November 12th. No, I should say November 12th. For a lot of the major countries, if you're not in that list, then it's November 19th for the rest of the world. Then we got pre-order dates. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. and which we can talk about that later. But then that was it. But that's enough. I'm not complaining. It was great to know this stuff. And then we kind of got a thank you for watching. Some people thought it was done, but no, it was not done. We got God of War Ragnarok right after. Now, it wasn't a big reveal.
Teaser of teasers.
Yeah, so I shouldn't say it's not a big reveal. It is a big reveal. It's just, it didn't show anything. It was just, like you said, a teasery teaser. And just all it was is Kratos basically saying, I can't remember the exact quote. It was something like, we must prepare or something like that.
I don't even remember what he said. The only thing that mattered was it's 2021.
Exactly. Like, damn, 2021.
So, I mean, we're definitely going to be seeing some more about that probably in the new year.
Now, don't get me wrong. I could totally see this getting delayed. But
true.
If it doesn't, is 2021 a banger?
Banger.
This whole thing was a banger. I cannot believe this showcase. So yeah, it ended there. And I think everyone initially was happy, and then shit hit the fan.
Pre-orders.
Yeah, pre-orders did not go well. But anyway, we'll move forward, and then we'll talk about some of the problems with the showcase. Now, I right away got this, and now I'm starting to hear other people catch up, but honestly, I don't think PlayStation was ready for this. I think this was made a while ago, and it was almost like a panic button to if Microsoft did something, okay, let's play this now.
Mm-hmm.
And that is honestly the only reason I could think of why I didn't talk about pre-orders, why a lot of these games weren't talked about being launch exclusives. Like even Spider-Man Miles Morales always, even in this thing, said holiday 2020.
We found more information on Twitter afterwards.
Yeah,
from Jeff and other
from
people.
Jeff mainly.
Insomniac and all them.
So, which tells me this thing was just not really ready, or at least not updated. I think it was created a while back. And yeah, there's obvious problems because of that. Like I said, a lot not knowing those games until Twitter announced that their launch releases, which would have been awesome and got us even more hype. So it seems like a no-brainer why you wouldn't have added that in. But then the bigger problem was the pre-orders. We got told after the show, I think 30 minutes after, Jeff Keighley basically said, so some of you want to know about pre-orders, ... Then it took a few more minutes, and then he finally updated that pre-orders would go live the following day at select retailers.
Yeah.
Everyone went insane. Oh my God, awesome. I can't wait to pre-order tomorrow. Some people were like, well, I signed up for that PS4 website, so I don't have to worry about it. They'll warn me. Great. They turned off the internet, went back to their normal lives. Well, guess what? Holy shit, that did not work out.
Yeah, I think within almost an hour or two, our area, Best Buy and Walmart had the ability to pre-order.
Yep.
So I think it was within 2 hours.
Yeah.
It popped up. You sent me a panic email of, oh my God, go do this, go sign this up. A couple other buddies were sending the same messages. Everybody was trying to sign up and get it. And it seems like the majority of the people I know got the pre-order in.
Yeah, me and Chris, at least until now, until told otherwise, I believe we have our pre-orders.
Yeah, we both ordered, I think, the disc-based version.
Yeah, the physical one.
As soon as I had finished my application for the disc-based version, I noticed the digital one was already sold out on Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe 20 minutes later, the disc-based version was also sold out on Best Buy. I didn't follow the Walmart one. I heard that one more afterwards. But
yeah.
So I don't know how many units or how many people that would have included. You only could add one to your cart. But I don't know. It definitely did not go over well.
No.
Sony probably, I don't know, maybe they weren't as strict or with the retailers and say, no, you got to do it at this time of the day, like 8 a.m. or whatever. Something fell through the cracks.
Well, and I wonder if it was, again, like different regions, different time zones. Like, did one guy go a little early in their time zone and then American stores freaked out and like, wait, if he has it, I have it? Because it sounded like, I've heard some people talk about this, say that Walmart UK started and then all of a sudden Target's like, oh, geez, we better go too. Well, then once Target went, which is American, everyone else was like Best Buy, Walmart, and then the floodgates just opened and it was freaking pandemonium.
Yeah, the trigger was then pulled at that point and everybody started following suit with the same message.
Yeah, so I'm just thankful for I won't say his name, but a dear friend, wink wink, for giving me the heads up so I could get mine. So
he wasn't winking at me. I've heard from you and my buddy at work at the same time to sign up and do it. But I would have let you know if you told me first.
Well, I let you know
after my pre-order was submitted.
That's actually what I did too. I submitted mine and then texted you. So yeah, if you didn't get your pre-order, you're not alone. It sounds like so.
I'm sure more will come.
Yeah, I wish that would have went down a little bit better.
The best part was the Xbox troll, which I I totally loved. It made me laugh. The whole they posted on their Twitter pre-order September 22nd. That's for the Xbox. Worldwide launch in 36 countries November 10th. Hype 9,000 plus. And then in brackets they put, "Don't worry, we'll let you know the exact time pre-orders start for you soon." Totally trolling Sony,
it's
which
a
is
good
great.
Troll minus the hype. Like no one's hyped for the Series X. And sorry, like I say, no one like an absolute. Obviously, I'm kidding. There's going to be some people that are crazy, but overall, like I've seen the polls online, and I'm not even talking about from like PlayStation sources. Like when you go to any poll, which next gen console, like if it's GameSpot, which I saw on YouTube, a poll, IGN did a poll. It's over 70% PS5. So I just love that they're like hype 9,000. I'm like, for what? Halo? Oh wait, that was delayed. What are those other biggest? Because nothing. Oh geez, that's great.
Moving on.
Yeah, sorry, I could rage on that. I just like, don't get me wrong, they did get a good burn on Sony, but it's like,
oh yeah, maybe
your own launch is going to be kind of its own burn. So have fun with that.
No, you're gonna have the diehards that'll buy it.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't even doubt if maybe it does sell out initially, but I'm just saying, like, give us after a year, let's see the numbers.
Check the numbers. Yeah. Oh wait, Microsoft won't provide those.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to.
So anyway, we'll move on to Article 2. PS5 units will have more units at launch than the PS4 did. This one was just confirmed by CEO Jim Ryan. He says that there will be more PS5 units available at launch than there were on PS4s. The problem is, though, that I believe the demand is higher for PS5s than PS4s due to the pandemic. More people at home, more people wanting to find reasons to stay at home, and we can tell that with the pre-orders. So that was a little update, but obviously I don't think that helps any of us that are in the situations that we're in.
So moving on to article number 3, this is not the backwards compatibility you were hoping for. Jim Ryan also said 99% of the thousands of PlayStation 4 games it's tested will be playable on PS5 via backwards compatibility.
I do not like this phrasing that it's tested. I don't know what that means. It seems intentionally
vague.
Yes, and I'm just a little hesitant to know what that means. Now, that could be out of his power. It could be simple things like, did developers like put a little patch to make it compatible? Like, is it up to them? Is it up to Sony? I could see little issues there that have nothing to do with Sony. So I don't want to point fingers at Jim Ryan and be like, hey, like, is this your fault? Because it could be out of his hands completely. But either way, hopefully, I assume most first party are obviously going to be fine. Yeah, I could see it mainly just being maybe some of the first PS4 games.
The early ones, yeah.
But either way, that's me speculating, so that means nothing. Going on to Article 4. Sony apparently no longer believes in generations. So, funny enough, this is Jim Ryan, almost the consensus of this week. If you go back, I believe a month or two ago, he was in an interview where he specified that Sony believes in generations, and though you can't particularly pick out that he said that all these games wouldn't work with the PS4, it seemed like he was implying that unlike Xbox, that PlayStation was generationally looking ahead and they didn't want to go backwards, they want to go forwards and make the best of all this and that, so that you can expect Miles Morales on PS5 to run ground up, blah, blah, blah. And now it seems like they're going back on that. And again, he never, he's very good at the phrasing. So he never actually confirmed that these games weren't backwards. But yeah, we found out that Horizon Forbidden West, Sackboy Adventures, Miles Morales are actually all going to be on PS4. The most amazing one would be Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, it feels like probably maybe the first year of the PlayStation 5, a lot of those titles are going to be on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
That's the sense I'm getting, and then who knows where they'll go from there. I mean, there's no reason for them to just totally abandon the PS4 for sure. I mean, a lot of the older generations of systems, they definitely supported them for a little while afterwards.
Yeah, it's not like unheard of. It's just weird that he would say this in an interview. Yeah, and especially if you knew Horizon was going to be PS4 down the line. And now I'm kind of wondering, is God of War 2 also going to be PS4?
Who knows?
Yeah,
probably not.
I would hope not. It's just the only thing I see is like, is this because these games were originally like, their new engines were PS4, so that's why they're like, well, it shouldn't be too hard to keep them on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's my thought with God of War. Same thing. It was a new engine put on the PS4. So yeah, it's all going to depend. But hopefully not. I really want God of War to be full PS5. I think it would. It's a big game, right? Like, I don't know. I have a hard time believing otherwise. Anyway, moving on. Article 5. $70 games are going to be the new norm. Now, that is not me telling you. That is just us looking ahead and on top of NBA 2K21 or whatever the hell it's called nowadays. No one cares. That game came out first, and then we've got other games that are also basically telling us
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty, $70 next gen, and now PlayStation is one of those. So Demon Souls being exclusively for PS5, $70. Spider-Man Ultimate Edition, $70.
Now, mind you, that one includes 2 games, but
I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to be every game right now, or at least for now.
It's the trend.
But I honestly think, if you're going to ask me, Steve, what do you think Horizon Forbidden West is? $70. God of War 2, $70.
Moving on to Article 6, Sony won't be short units. Sony has responded to recent rumors that have been flying around that they would be unable to produce the previously stated number of consoles, and they say nay to the whole story. From what I'm reading and seeing, it sounds like they already have produced more units than even the PS4 had it initially.
Yeah.
So I think if you really are wanting the system, you're probably going to be able to get it. Maybe not within the first 2 weeks. Probably within the first
Honestly,
month.
maybe not even in 2020, but it sounds like in 2021. Like,
you might have trouble getting it for a Christmas gift from your parents.
Like, I can't speak for the future, but like I don't think this is going to be a Wii scenario.
This one was a kind of a funny one that I came across. Article 7, the energy drink beats Ubisoft's upcoming game. So I found an article that said, I guess there was a lawsuit, or don't question me on the legal terms, but Monster Energy drink had convinced Ubisoft to change the names of the gods and monsters because of the word monsters.
Yeah, because they thought it would be confusing or
brand
misleading,
confusing or something. So that's why they ended up changing the name to Phoenix Rising?
Is it Immortals?
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much, I just thought it was humorous to see that everybody was speculating, like, why did they change? Why did they change the name? Oh, no. It turns out it was because of Monster Energy drink.
And then other than that, that is all your news. We like obviously spent a majority of the time on the event because it was so big. So quickly, homework. There's basically no homework this week. Not a lot of news. I don't think anyone really wants to touch on the week the PS5 got announced. Anyway, so the only homework right now would just be go to YouTube. The Night City Wire event for Cyberpunk 2077 Episode 3 came out. Me and Chris watched it. I don't know, fun things. They talk about gangs.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's
like 10 plus.
Yeah,
gangs?
I was expecting like 3 or 4, and it's like, nope.
Lots of gangs.
Yeah.
You kind of got a little bit more scale to the city, the depth of it, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yep.
I mean, we're just waiting for the game, okay?
Yeah. If you got 20 minutes to kill and you don't know what to do with it, there you go. So go on to YouTube. Other than that, though, we are done for this week yet again. We will see you next Monday. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate any of the views, the listens. It all helps. So like we said before, please subscribe and comment on anything. So we will talk to you again next week. Thanks for coming, and bye.
See you guys.
I think they're putting their hat in the old game here. That's not even saying. I ran out of words.
You put the hat in the thing.
They put the hat on the table, and you switch hats.
Make the video game $70 great again.
This is how you get lice.
Moving on to articles.
Yeah, so the next time you're drinking one, take a piss in it when you're done.
And then you pass it on to the next person. That's how the drink
Just
goes
like
around.
anything, when you go to a Halloween store and it says monster masks, does monster also break in the building? Or that's going to confuse these kids. They don't know if it's a caffeine fix or if it's a Halloween. It's I don't think they're that stupid. Yes, they are. It's monster. I'm like, God damn.
They want everybody at home to have that tech demo they showed from a couple, quite a while ago already, but where you the loading screen by using the tunnel is 3 seconds, if that.
Yeah,
they want everybody to have that tech demo for at home now.
They're gonna have to change the cutscene when he's on the subway from the long he's looking at a magazine or whatever to a quick he just slaps a guy in the face and he's just out, right?